provided as specified in the Act. Proper notice of this public meeting was provided in the notice of January 7, 2013. Said notice was posted at the entrance of the Board of Education offices, mailed to the Nutley Sun, the Star Ledger, the North Jersey Herald News, and the Nutley Journal, mailed to the Nutley Township Clerk, advertised in the Nutley Sun on January 17, 2013, and posted on the district website. This is an official meeting. In consideration of all here present and in recognition of the importance of these proceedings, it is requested that all cell phones and pagers be turned off or silenced for the duration of this meeting. Thank you. If you would all please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On Tuesday, November 5, 2013, the annual school board election for the Nutley School District was held. Voting was conducted for the election of 3 members to the Board of Education for a 3-year term and 1 member for a 1-year term. The results of the election were as follows. Candidates for the 3-year terms: Charles W. Kaczynski, 3,562 votes. Daniel A. Carnicella, 3,239. James A. Gupta, 2,584. Kenneth J. Riley, 2,755. Candidate for the 1-year term: Salvatore Ferrero, 2,153. The candidates elected were Charles W. Kaczynski, Daniel A. Carnicella, and Kenneth J. Riley for 3-year terms, and Salvatore Ferraro for a 1-year term. A copy of this report will be entered into the official minutes of the Board of Education. At this time, I'd like to administer the oath of office to the new board members. Mr. Carnicella, if you would join me at the microphone with your family and friends.
Dan, picture tag.
Am I crooked? There we go.
There. I, recite your name,
I, Daniel A. Carnicella,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States and this state,
and to the governments established in the United States and this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I state your name.
I, Daniel A. Carnicella,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
for the office of member of a Board of Education,
for the office of member of Board of Education,
and not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1,
and not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all duties of that office
perform all duties of that office
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Mr. Ferraro. I, and state your name,
I, Salvatore Ferrero,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States and this state,
and to the governments established in the United States and this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I state your name.
I, Salvatore Ferraro,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
for the office of member of a Board of Education,
for the office of member of the Board of Education,
am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1,
am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all duties of that office
perform all duties of that office
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Mr. Kaczynski, I think there are a couple of young gentlemen who might want to join you here tonight. I, and state your name,
I, Charles W. Kuzinski,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States and this state,
and to the governments established in the United States and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I, and state your name,
I, Charles W. Kuzinski,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
for the office of member of a Board of Education,
for the office of member of the Board of Education,
am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1,
and not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1,
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all duties of that office
perform all duties of that office
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Justin, come here. Picture. Okay, you got it?
Mr. Riley. You have it memorized now, you I, state your name,
I, Kenneth J. Riley,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States and this state,
and to the governments established in the United States and this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I, and state your
I,
name,
Kenneth Riley,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
for the office of member of a Board of Education,
for office of a member of the Board of Education,
am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1.
I'm not going to be helped on this. I'm not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19:4-1, yes.
And that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all duties of that office
perform all duties of that office
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. time, we'd like to do the election of officers for President and Vice President of the Board of Education. And I will now accept nominations for the office of President.
Okay. I'd like to nominate Office President Charles Krasinski.
Second.
Are there any further nominations? If there being no further nominations, it is declared that the nominations are closed. Mrs. Kukuza, please take the vote for President.
Mr. Carnicello?
Aye.
Mrs. Dancheck Martin? Yes. Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Ms. Russo?
Yes.
Mr. Scalera? Mr. Sposato?
Yes.
Congratulations, Mr.
Thank you.
Kaczynski. Take over. The meeting is now yours.
Oh, really? I'm going to,
Nominations for Vice President.
all right, now I will accept nomination for Vice President.
Mr. President, I nominate Fred Scolari for Vice President of the Board.
Second.
Roll call, Mr. Caruso. I'm sorry. There being no further nominations, it is declared that the nominations are closed. Mrs. Caruso, please take the vote for Vice President.
Mr. Carnicello?
Yes.
Mrs. Dancheck Martin? Yes. Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Ms. Russo? Yes. Mr. Sposato?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes. And now we go back to the rest of the report, correct?
We actually don't do the call to order. We probably should have done before the vote.
Okay, I guess we need a roll call, Mr. Caruso.
Mr. Carnicello?
Here.
Mrs. Dancheck Martin? Here. Mr. Ferrara?
Here.
Mr. Klein?
Here.
Mr. Riley?
Here.
Ms. Russo? Here. Mr. Scalera? Mr. Sposato?
Here.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Here. I think before we go into the superintendent's report, if some parents wish to leave, you can certainly do that, because now we're going to be going into the...
I didn't want you to be speaking.
Name the second parent.
Young gentleman, you have
It's amazing that time. Good night, guys. Guys. All right, now we'll have the superintendent's report.
I now need to cut out the children's portion of my report. An hour's preparing it. Thank you, Mr. Kaczynski. I want to welcome everybody back, 2014. I hope everyone had a festive holiday season, a restful break, and certainly a happy new year. I want to thank one last time our outgoing members of the board, Dr. Reed and Mr. Cookta, and certainly want to welcome our incoming members of the board, Mr. Carnicello, Mr. Ferrara, and Mr. Riley. We're excited to have all three of you on board. So welcome. And again, as one board moves out, another one moves in, and we continue to stay focused on the work of our strategic plan. There were a number of meaningful achievements this past year. I documented all of them actually the best I could in my most recent blog post on our website. So if you're interested in reading that and seeing how the work that has come through 2013, I encourage you to read that on our website under my superintendent's classroom page. We're almost halfway through the second year of our strategic plan and still focused on those 6 critical goals for this year. As we begin 2014, just want to let everyone know, we're going to be kicking off the year by hosting a number of public forums. The public forums will have topics including our new science rollout, the implementation of a workshop in our language arts model K-8, the new park assessments that are coming statewide and certainly here to Nutley, our world language offerings and what direction that we've chosen for that program, technology and changes that have happened in the classroom as well as what's coming for 2014, and certainly here in this building we'll be having a presentation in the coming weeks on our middle school model and what we're doing, what the staff is doing. I know they have another faculty meeting yet again today. and the changes as we move forward. At these meetings, I will be a part of them, Ms. Valani, central office, but as well as administration, faculty, and students as appropriate as we've been having these meetings. So I'm encouraging everyone to kind of get involved, not just members of the board and the people who come to these meetings, but we want to try and get parents and other members of the community out. The first of these meetings, I'm happy to report, will be held on January 23rd, and the focus will be our new math series. Ms. Martin will be heading that as our K-12 supervisor. And again, these forums are designed as conversations. They're not just information. We will be blasting out the dates for these, the first, of course, being Thursday the 23rd. They'll be talking about, she'll be going over again our program review process, how we piloted and selected the materials that we're now using, what makes this series different from other series, and why we think this is critical for our students moving forward, and certainly our online parent university. So parents can actually log in and have a wealth of resources, which is one of the big pushes for this particular series, to help them continue what's going on in the classroom at home. And reinforce that, make sure that we're working together, that home classroom partnership is as strong as ever. As I said, each of these evenings is designed as a conversation. Information certainly will be given out, but we're looking for people to come forward and become part of the conversation and to see what they can do to help support the great work being done in our schools by our faculty, how apropos it's Lincoln Schools even to visit the Board of Education meeting. I can't believe time has gone by so quickly, but over the past 2.5 years, we've taken each transition that's happened as an opportunity to build on what we accomplished and move forward. I'm looking to this new year and certainly to this new board to be no different in that respect. To take the accomplishments that have been made to this point as a stronger foundation and help all of us move this district forward as we support both the students who come to school here and certainly the community. So congratulations to everyone. I hope everyone had a good year, and I'm looking forward to the great things that will happen in 2014. Mr. Kuzinski.
Thank you, Louis. We now come to the portion of our meeting where we allow members of the public to address the board. In this section, we allow questions or comments on only the resolutions addressed in tonight's agenda. On board regulations 601 allow 20 minutes for these communications. Each person shall be limited to 3 minutes, and we ask you to try to stay within this requirement. Speakers may speak more than once, only after all others wishing to speak on a topic have been heard. All statements will be directed to me as the chairperson, and no one may address board members individually. Please be reminded that if your statement is too lengthy, personally directed, abusive, obscene, irrelevant, or redundant, your participation may be terminated. Please always remember to state your name and address each and every time you address the board. Will the first person please come forward that would like to address the board? Kind of meetings we like. Move on to resolutions. Ms. Danchek, would you take the academic resolutions, please?
Yes, Mr. President, I move academic resolutions 1 and 2 is written.
Second.
Roll call, Ms.
Debbie.
Pizzaro.
Makes no difference, Doug.
Okay. Mr. Conoscella?
Yes.
Mrs. Dancheck Martin? Yes. Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Ms. Russo? Yes. Mr. Sposato?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes. Ms. Russo, will you take administration resolutions, please?
I'd like to move administration resolutions 1 and 2 as listed.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Conoscella?
Yes.
Mrs. Dancheck Martin? Yes. Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Ms. Russo?
Yes.
Mrs. Sposato?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes. Mr. Sposato, will you take finance resolution, please?
Yeah, Mr. President, I move finance resolution 1 as written.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Conoscella?
Yes.
Mrs. Dancheck Martin?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Ms. Russo?
Yes.
Mr. Sposato?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes. Mr. Klein, will you take personnel resolution, please?
Yes, Mr. President, I move personnel resolution 1 as written.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Conoscella?
Yes.
Mrs. Dancheck Martin? Yes. Mr. Ferrara?
Yes.
Mr. Klein?
Yes.
Mr. Riley?
Yes.
Ms. Russo?
Yes.
Mr. Sposato?
Yes.
Mr. Kaczynski?
Yes. In this section, we allow questions or comments on all school-related matters. Our regulations allow 30 minutes for these communications. Again, each person should be limited to 3 minutes. We ask you to try to stay within these requirements. As I stated before, all statements will be directed to me. I'll take anyone that has any questions on any items to come before the board tonight. You have to move faster, Terry.
I know. Terry Quirk, 45 Hampton Place, and spokesperson for the Nutley Parent Advocacy Network. First of all, congratulations, Mr. President. Congratulations to our new board members, and welcome back, Mr. Riley. And I'm really excited about the new year, so hopefully we'll be able to get some things done. I just have one quick question, because I did bring this to the board's attention a couple of months ago, where the attorney for the district, Mrs. Butler, is now starting to attend IEP meetings, and I was just wondering how much an hour are we paying Mrs. Butler to attend meetings? Because this is something that we've never seen before, where a parent would come in with either an advocate or mostly just an advocate, and now the attorney is attending. Mr. Wenzel never attended the meetings in the past, so I'm just wondering, do we know offhand how much Mrs. Butler is charging the district?
I know that they're making an individual decision based on the IEP needs as to when in turn based on specific issues or is not necessary.
Okay.
We will get that.
We can get that number.
We'll definitely get that number.
Okay, and I just really think that it sets up, one of the things that's really important about IEP meetings is really coming together and working together as a team, not just, the parents on one side and the district on another. And I think sometimes when an attorney shows up, and I'm not saying Mrs. Butler, but any attorney shows up in a meeting like that, I think it just kind of, it puts people on edge. So I'm just wondering if the board can kind of reconsider having the attorney there. I mean, we always understand that at mediation, at the process, that's something that the district has that right. But at IEP meetings, it's just becoming a little tense. So, but I just would like to have that information. All right, thank you.
Definitely take a look at it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. President. Alan Thomas, 108 McKinley Street. I respectfully disagree with Ms. Quirk on that issue. That's a lot of my business, attending IEP meetings on behalf of parents and students. So I don't have a problem with lawyers being at those meetings. But anyway, I just wanted to step up as a one-time candidate for this Board of Education to congratulate Mr. Carcel, Mr. Riley, Mr. Ferraro, and Mr. Kaczynski on their election, and congratulations to Mr. Kaczynski on his re-election as president of the Board of Education. I'm particularly pleased about that because I think in the past year Charlie has done a terrific job of leading the board, putting everybody together. I don't always agree with what he does, okay, but he doesn't expect me to agree with him, but he listens, and I really have grown to be very fond of him and really respect his leadership. I say the same thing to Mr. Scalera, but I'll wait for him to actually show up at a meeting before I do that. Just a question for you, Mr. Kaczynski, or Mr. President. Have you decided on committee assignments, and if so, what are they? If not, when will that happen?
In fact, under new business, I'll recommend that people get back to me on what committees they'd like to serve on, but truthfully, I have met with most of the board members, and we have a good direction on where we're going, but certainly by the next board meeting, the committee appointments will be locked in.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. Because I am particularly aggrieved to see that Dr. Reed and Mr. Kuchta are here. I thought Dr. Reed brought an incredible perspective to education for our town, and that's a great loss. And of course, as you know, Mr. Kuchta has become an expert at school budgeting. And that is a great loss for us. And so I'm particularly interested in finding out who's going to be running our finance committee. And I hope they'll bring to it at least half the dedication Mr. Kuchta did, and we'll be just fine, I think. Thank you, Mr. President. Again, congratulations to you, sir.
Thank you for your kind words, Alan. Anyone else wish to be heard? Any old business to come before the board? I have some old business just for everyone's information. We've scheduled a meeting with the attorneys for TriTech. Mr. Riley, you know, I talked about that. That'll be at the next board meeting. We're going to close conference and spend some time with Cosmo. And Mr. Thomasell will bring you up to speed also, okay? That's scheduled for the 27th, correct, Russ?
That's correct.
Yeah.
It's on the board agenda.
Yeah, it's on the board agenda. You'll see it's a little bit earlier. Any other old business? Any new business? I also have some new business, as was mentioned. I've talked to most of the board members about different committees and school assignments and some ad hoc committees that are out there. So if you do have some input, I think, did they get a blank copy of the committee appointments? Okay.
Have the current committees.
Yeah, that's what I meant, with the current committee assignments, so they'll see what committees are out there. And then if you have any personal concern beyond what we've talked about, just let me know and we'll see if we can fit you in on any committee that serves the purpose of you and the board. Any other new business? If not, I'll hear an adjournment.
Motion to adjourn? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.